Welcome back. This video is a Lurch special. It is a unboxing, update, and final video all wrapped into one. Thanks to a few mishaps, but on my part. But you know, things happen. And well, when things happen, I don't dwell on them. So anyway, this is the M-41 Walker Bulldog, used in Vietnam. So when I first started the model, I was like, we're gonna do nothing fancy. We're not gonna cut out any hatches. We're not gonna enhance it in any way, except for the back of the truck gang special with models, which is make it dirty, make it used. Well, I did that. I thought about the idea of doing battle damage. I decided not to do that. Though from the very beginning, I thought, you know what, I'm going to make these two figurines here sit on the tank like they did in World War II. Well, looking at historical footage, that really didn't happen much in Vietnam. So, I went ahead, modified it like it was on patrol. I cut open the top hatch for the gunner, and the hatch down here for the driver. Well, this is the back side, this is the front side of the tank, so the driver would be somewhere on the other side of the front. But anyway, I decided to modify it. So, it was a quick build. The turret, the big pieces of the turret came in two pieces. The body of the tank were in two pieces. It was a real easy model. This is a great beginner's model, and this is my actually first armored model that I've done. And I would recommend this to anyone who is a first time in armored. So, the unboxing, and for what's left in the box. This is added. I bought this. This was like $6 on HobbyLink. It is HO scale rope. The decals. You can do it in the Japanese land defense squadron. They got option A and option B, or you can do it as a United States tank. I decided to do mine as a United States tank. But, you notice not all those are on the tank. I won't ruin the surprise yet. We'll get down to that. Here's the directions that are upside down. Here we go. It's a nice, comprehensive directions, not as complicated as some of the other model directions I've read. It even explains it for you. And it comes out here, builds the turret in fairly sizable pieces, tells you how to, assemble the machine gun, the exhausts, all that happy stuff. It has you assemble the figurines. Now you need to pay attention to this when you look at them, because the pouches here, these two, they're not as recognizable on the thing because they come in gray plastic. So, just pay a little something to pay attention to. I did not do this because that would have been, if the tank was, say, being transported, yes, it would have this cover on it, but I'm not doing mine as transported. It's on patrol, so yeah, well, you'll get to see that later. Here's the decals. Even has the paint suggestions. Tells you what the colors are. Here's option A and B for the Japanese ground self-defense, the United States Army. Over here on the front, it has a nice history of the M-41. So for those of you who are history buffs, all in all, very nice. Yes, this is the rear of the tank, like I said before. Now this piece here, you can glue it up or down. I decided to glue mine in the down position because, once again, if it was being transported, this would be the position it's in. So technically this is incorrect. That's what I think. For those of you out there who have operated this tank, who have operated the M-41, feel free to correct me. So anyway, these are part of the Tamiya Sandbag Kit. Once again, I got it on HobbyLink. It was like $16. Comes with 2 trees of nothing but sandbags. You might be thinking, why do I need sandbags on a tank? Well, we'll explain, and I'll show you later. Part for all your rubber pieces. This parts tree where the vast majority of pretty much all the parts for your tank would be on. No extra parts there. This is the part where you outfit the figurines the way you want them. As you see, I did not use the backpacks, the bayonets, the one canteen. There's 2. I used 1. The M1 Grand, which is, in my opinion, the absolute best rifle ever created by the United States military. And hand grenades. Little piece of plastic here. Now this one went on the parts tree with the figurines because I believe they modified the M-41 to accommodate batteries. So like if you want to put motors in it and make it, run under its own power, you could do that. Yep, that's a hand. It belongs to the tank commander. I decided not to use this hand, but use the one with the binoculars on it. And I cut those off of the figurines. You'll get to see why later. Anyway, that is all. This is if you're a fan, if you like reading Japanese, these are written in Japanese as well. So anyway, that's all that's in the box. Why don't we get to the fun part of the model? I like that idea. Here it is. As you can see, I used the sandbags. Yep, that's what I did with the figurines. This guy was the one with the Tommy gun. As you can see, he has the Tommy gun right there. And there's our tank driver. So, I will tell you, if you want to do this, be very careful when scribing the lines on the hatches. Second, the guy you fit up in this one, you're going to have to cut off one leg at the knee. The guy down here, he ain't gonna fit. He's gonna argue with you. So you gotta cut off both his legs at the knee to sure it fits in. And then you just gotta play with it. After you get him in, you gotta play with it between this piece and the turret. So he's not sticking all the way out of the hatch, but sticking down just enough. But I will say, if you modify this, the turret will not be able to turn at all. If you do a box stock, the turret and the barrel will be able to move. We got our Browning M2 machine gun. We have our tank commander. As you can see, the other option for the tank commander is to have his binoculars with him. I decided to do that. Now, something I did here, a modification, is on the box. On the ammo can, you really can't see it that well with the camera, but I took a little bit of tan paint, mixed it with yellow, took a toothpick and made little dots on it. So that's like the original writing that would have been on the, specifying what caliber ammunition it was, what gun it was intended for, and how much rounds were in that case. We got our gas cans, we have our antennas, got our barrel. So, with the sandbags, as far as I can know, this is a light tank. And so the soldiers would take sandbags, logs, or anything they could, mount on the tank, especially this would be more common in World War II, and tie it to the side. That's kind of put more stuff between them and whatever the enemy's shooting at them. Most of it turned out just to be a feel-good measure, but some was actually quite effective. So, after some historical footage from Vietnam at the M-41 Walker Bulldog, I mimicked as best I could. Turned out great. Got all of that. Now, as you notice, some of the decals, there would have been a number here, and then there would have been a white star right about here. You can't see those, you got sandbags on them. So, that We have our headlights. We got our silver headlights, our regular headlights, which are the silver ones. The black ones are infrared headlights. So, on the back here, we got our exhaust. We got a little bit of rusting going on. There's that piece here. I actually ended up gluing it in the up position. And when I figured out what it was like, oh, I gotta find a way to fix it. So I ended up breaking it off and gluing it in the down position. We got our exhausts. We got the back side of the tank here. Got our identification numbers. It was a really good model, simple build. But I will say, to save you a headache, if you're going to do this, a lot of these directions will call for some ladder steps that are glued to the turret. If you want to put sandbags over it, you can completely skip those steps and stack them like this. That way you don't have to do it. Kind of also saves on the decals. If we turn it over here, we have our driver's escape hatch on the bottom. And I don't know if the camera can pick it out that well or not, but you can see like little indentations there. Well, there we go. Those two right there. Well, those are what those big pieces of plastic would cover for. Those are two big old holes in the bottom of the chassis. If you wanted to add batteries or something into it. And so I decided to cover those up with putty. And then after I put the putty and tape in, I was like, yo, you know what? It actually comes with the patches for this. Why don't we just glue the patches in? So anyway, really nice model. I enjoyed it. Like I said, it's a real simple build. And like most tankers did, I named my tank. Camera probably can't focus on that, but it says Glamdring. For those of you who are not familiar with Middle-earth, Glamdring was a sword forged by the King of Gondolin, and I believe it was I think it was the first age, maybe the beginning of the second age of Middle-earth, and fell with the King of Gondolin when Gondolin was attacked by Melkor, and then found by Gandalf in the Third Age in a troll cave, and then it was used throughout the Third Age in the events of the the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings. It's translated from Elvish to mean foe hammer. Thought that very fitting for a tank, for some very obvious reasons. I will say, try to build the antennas last. They are very brittle, and they will break off, especially if you live in a house with cats, or if you're like me and get a little careless sometimes and can place it, and you're like, oh, I can put it here, and then it snaps. So, yeah, I enjoyed the model, you know. I think it looks great. I love my work. I love the work I did. And that's the nice thing about models, folks. You don't got to worry about other people's opinions. You worry about your own. If you like it, it's good. And of course, if you don't like it, or you feel bored doing models, or you don't like doing models, you gotta find yourself another hobby. Because what's the point of a hobby if you don't like it? So, that is it for now. Until then, I will see you all later.